Vibe out for a second, guys. Vibe out for a second, guys. Ooh. Oh, this that chill music, man. This that chill music. This that chill music. This that chill music. This that chill music. This that music you ride down the highway when on a summer evening. We vibing, oh yes, we vibing. PlayStation Nation, we vibing. PlayStation Nation, we vibing. PlayStation Nation, remember, always remember. I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan too. But this is great. But this is great for gamers. But this is great for gamers. Y'all get ready. Y'all get ready. Get your drinks. Get your dinner. If you driving home from work, turn me up. If you driving home from work, turn me up. If you at work, working a late night shift, turn me up, man. Put your AirPods in and just just chill. Do your work and just chill. Persona got you. If you gaming, turn me up and just chill. Yo, ain't it great being a PlayStation gamer? Ain't it great being a PlayStation gamer? PlayStation Nation, stand up. I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation. I'm a PlayStation fan too. I say it motherfucking loudly. I say it proudly. One more time. I'm a PlayStation fan too. Two more times. PlayStation fan too. Three more times. PlayStation fan too. Four more times. PlayStation fan too. Five more times. PlayStation fan too. Six more times. 7, 8, 9, 10, and forever and ever. I'ma always say it. I'm a PlayStation fan too. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan too. PlayStation Nation, stand the fuck up. PlayStation Nation, stand up. I'm a PlayStation fan too. PlayStation Nation, stand up. Hey man, what is good YouTube? What's good PlayStation Nation? It's your boy Persona, gaming with Persona, host of When Persona Speaks, and the one half of the host of What's Up PlayStation podcast every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. with my bro Bari. And you guys know me and Bari every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. What's Up PlayStation podcast YouTube channel. Check that out. Links is in the description. If you want to be a member on the channel, link is in the description as well, man. If you want to support the channel and see me grow and see the improvements and be a part of that, become a member. Consider it if you want. It's not mandatory, but it's most definitely appreciated. The link to that is in the description. If you want to follow me on YouTube, the link to that is in the description. If you want to, support and do whatever you want to do, all that's in the description. If you want to support the growth, it's in the description. Merch. I got new merch on the way coming real soon. Real soon. And it's a piece that I got two pieces. I got hit up my boy Oblivion for the second piece. The first piece is done. I know y'all gonna love this, man. It's something for the men and for the ladies. I know y'all gonna love this, man. I know y'all gonna love this piece for the merch. I just know, man. I just know y'all gonna love it. So, merch store is getting updated. The WUPS merch will be getting updated too, right? Man, we thriving out here, man. PlayStation Nation, we thriving out here. Ladies and gentlemen, we thriving out here, man. 2022 and beyond, we thriving out here. 22 and beyond, we are thriving. PlayStation, they stand up. I'm a PlayStation fan too. I'm a PlayStation fan too. Let them know and always respect. Where's my respect my time crew? Respect my time. Respect my time. I got a wife and kids. And I know y'all see that new video playing in the background while we talk. It's the Aloy Story Chiller, baby.
Aloy, I want you to notice me.
Aloy, baby, notice me. We got like 28 more days, baby.
Aloy, I want you to notice me.
Aloy, we got 28 more days.
I want you to notice me.
Aloy, notice me, baby. Aloy, notice me. Notice me, Aloy.
Aloy, I want you to notice me.
Yo, man, fire. Yo, that new trailer was fire, man. We definitely gonna talk about that Saturday on What's Up PlayStation podcast. Absolutely. But y'all know I had to pull that trailer up. Y'all know I had to have that trailer playing in the background. Got me hella hype. You feel me, guys? I can't wait, man. Man, yo, listen, man. The greats over there at PlayStation, over there at Guerrilla Games, man. That type of talent is just it's nurtured, man. It's cultivated. That type of talent cannot be bought. That type of talent just can't be bought off the street. You cultivate that. You nurture that, man. You understand? I mean, my God, man. Like when it comes to the quality. When it comes to the high quality and the greatness of the games that PlayStation is putting out here, my God, that quality is unmatched. Even for a lot of third-party developers, they can't even match this level of quality. Very few developers can match the quality of PlayStation studios, can match the quality of PlayStation developers. And my God, it feels good to be a PlayStation gamer. I'm a PlayStation fan too. I gotta be honest, but let's talk about the Great for Gamers crowd. But this is Great for Gamers. Cause guys, we got a lot to talk about today. Listen, man, let story time real quick, man. Story time real quick. Where's my Naruto music, man? Guys, it's finally happened. It's finally happened, guys. It's finally happened, guys. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Wait, where are my manners, man? Before we get into anything, let me shout out everybody in the chat real quick. Man, how rude of me today. I'm being real rude today, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Ice Queen Gaming in the building. Yo, Dawn, what is going on? Appreciate you. Yo, Soapbox Gaming. Yo, Connor, what's good, bro? Shout out to Soapbox Gaming, man. Appreciate you, bro, coming through. Corey Macy in the building. Yo, Fee, what is going on? Appreciate you. Dark Prince 6606. I appreciate you. Let me pop out this chat so I can see a little bit better, so I can see the names better. Dark Prince, appreciate you. Games for Eternity, I appreciate you, man. Rallo, what happened to Rallo, God? And that was Rallo 981. Rallo, appreciate you always. Yo, Lay is in the building. Lay, how you feeling today? Jesus Morales in the building. FCOD been hating on it since Ghost, so no loss for me. Appreciate you, Jesus. We're gonna talk about it. Jeremy Shiner in the building. Jeremy, how you feeling today? Sayun Chia. I think I got that right. Sayun Chia. Yo, Sayun, appreciate you. Carl Anchor in the building. Appreciate you. Stank Ma in the building. Appreciate you, Stank Ma. Eddie, Adrian, appreciate you. Eddie, Raven, what's going on with you? Yo, Nick in the building. Nick, how you feeling today? Plus Ultra, how you feeling, Plus? Tom Coleman. Tom, how you feeling today? Appreciate you. Yo, Philip. Yo, Phil DVG. Phil, what's good, man? Appreciate you. Appreciate you. The Iron Panther in the building. Iron Panther, how you feeling, man? Appreciate you coming through always. Lorenzo Carson in the building. Lorenzo, how you feeling today, sir? Man, who else is? Yo, A18K Dual Sensible. What a name. Yo, A1, what's good? Appreciate you. Henry Heck in the building. Henry Heck, what is good with you? Ooh, what's good? Persona, what's good? Chat, appreciate you, Henry, always. Shout out to Lil Mama. You know, if she watching with us, Henry, shout out to her. Shout out to the missus if she's watching. Shout out to the family. You might have the whole family gathered around on the couch, you know, getting ready for a new episode of When Persona Speaks. I don't know. Shout out to the whole family, okay? Mr. Glass in the building, appreciate you. Jack Move Johnny in the building. Ayo, Jack, whole slate. Yo, shout out to Jack, man. Jack, man, that's my boy, man. Shout out to Jack Move, man. Appreciate you, brother. Who else is here, man? Plus Ultra, I appreciate you, Plus. Yo, Object 2B, what's good, Object? Appreciate you. Foxing around. Austin, how are you today? Dylan Rafferty in the building. Dylan, how are you today, sir? Is everything good? Are you happy, healthy, and safe? I hope so. KL in the building. KL, how you feeling today? Adrian Pena, what's good, Adrian Pena? Appreciate you. Some new people in the chat. I appreciate y'all. Super Milkshake, what is going on? Corey, Kelvin Smith. Yo, shout out to everybody here, man. I really do appreciate everyone. Yo, D, I see you, D, in the chat. Appreciate you, D. Mr. Glass, I think I got everybody, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I really do appreciate y'all pulling up, coming through. Mr. Logic Skills, what's good? Logic Trap, what's going on with you? Yo, Philip K in the building. What's good, Philip? HD Gamer 84, what is going on with you? Das Mises, how you feeling today? Steels Forever. Steels, what's good, bro? Requiem of Demons. Yo, Rec, what's good, bro? Appreciate you. King Kiso. King Kiso in the building. Appreciate you, man. Round of applause for the people in the chat. Round of applause, man. Round of applause for the folks in the chat. You know. Yo, Dan Gio, SIE. What's good, everybody, man? I appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Coming through. You know, chilling with your boy, man. You know, having some fun. I hope y'all enjoy yourselves, man. I'm good. I'm good. Yo, KL, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not good. Let me not lie to y'all, man. Y'all my peoples, man. Y'all know y'all my community. Y'all support your boy. I gotta be honest with y'all, man. I'm not all right. Okay? I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm not gonna be one of these people that's gonna pretend like, oh yeah, everything is just copacetic. I am not okay. Okay? I am not okay. This is a problem for me. Okay? Because for those that have been watching my channel for a very long time, who have supported me or supported Bari or support us collectively on What's Up PlayStation Podcast, you guys know I am a huge Call of Duty fan. I am a huge COD fan. Y'all know I run the CODs, man. I rep the CODs. Y'all know COD Sundays, what me and Bari do every Sunday. Yo, I play COD religiously, right? I'm a huge COD fan. Huge COD fan. So I am not okay, KL. I am not okay. Understand? Then we got the whole great for
this
gamers
is great
crowd.
for gamers.
We got the whole
But this is great for gamers.
we got the whole great for gamers crowd running their maps with their mouth flapping their gums. You know, like they always do when you know, the neutrals and all that stuff that always love to say how they don't care about console wars and care about exclusives and all this shit. But when purchases like this happen, they're the first ones to make a space. They're the first ones happy and oh my God, look what Microsoft did. Look what Daddy Phil did. Oh my God, Daddy Phil, you've done it again. You've made me the happiest gamer in the world. All that bullshit. Right? They always the first ones doing that. Right? So I'm not okay. Okay? It's a problem. It's an issue. Okay? Oh, Daddy Phil. Oh my God, Microsoft, you did it again. Oh my God, Daddy Phil, you've made me so happy. Daddy Phil, will you marry me? Oh my God. All that bullshit. I am not happy. I am not happy as a hardcore Call of Duty fan. Ain't no capping going on around here, man. Cut the cap. Ain't no capping going on around here, okay? I am not okay.
Stop it. Get some help.
MJ, Michael Jordan, I'm trying to get some help. Listen, man. MJ, like, I'm trying to get some help, man. I'm just not okay.
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, fine. You know, MJ telling me stop and get some help. All right, fine, right? MJ saying, Persona, man up, this is business. All right, MJ, I hear you, bro. All right, I hear you, MJ. You're telling me to man up. That's what we'll do. Okay, so we're gonna man up. But KL, I am not okay. Okay? So here's the thing, right? I did a Spaces yesterday, and I did a Spaces yesterday where, you know, I kind of got to briefly talk about, you know, give my thoughts, but so many people, shout out to everyone, man. We had like almost 500 people in the space. A lot of great people pulled up, man, gave their thoughts and stuff like that, you know, and I was glad to be able to facilitate that type of space where, like, you know, we can all kind of talk and give our thoughts and things like that, man. Regardless if you're PlayStation, Xbox, whatever, it was just good to really, you know, converse with folks within the community. But I definitely wanted to hop on YouTube and give my thoughts and talk about, you know, talk about it with y'all, man. Y'all know how we do things. So listen, I'm going to kind of reiterate. If you were in the space yesterday, you might hear a couple of things reiterated, but we're really going to go in depth here because I really want to talk about this from a perspective of a PlayStation fan, a true PlayStation fan. I mean,
Cut the cap. I'm a PlayStation fan too.
I mean, you know, not the.
But this is great for gamers.
PlayStation fan perspective, like that loves Call of Duty, right? Because I don't buy PlayStation just for COD, but Call of Duty is has been a big part of my gaming life since really the beginning. Because I was playing Big Red 1. I was playing all of the older CODs. Then when it got into like the multiplayer scene, it really started picking up with Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare 2, World at War. I've played every single Call of Duty since the beginning. Call of Duty has been a very big part of my life, right? So, here's the funny thing. I'm gonna tell you guys a secret. Come a little close. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. I actually, when COD Modern Warfare, right? Here's the thing. I actually played COD Modern Warfare on Xbox first before PlayStation. That's the funny thing. Crazy how shit comes full circle like this, right? I think because when the Xbox 360 came out, because I had the 360, and obviously the 360 came out a year before PlayStation, I was playing COD and Halo and Gears and all that shit a year early before I got to PlayStation. So I was playing COD for like a minute, like on the Xbox. Crazy how shit comes full circle, guys. It is really is crazy how it comes full circle. Anyway, so
as someone that has had Call of Duty in their life, and again because once COD went to PlayStation, I was on PlayStation from there on out, right? So when Modern Warfare went to PlayStation, when I got my PS3, and it's always been PlayStation from then on, right? So with Call of Duty being like a big part of my gaming life and stuff like that, and again, I didn't buy a PlayStation for COD. I'm not like a casual in that regard, where a lot of casuals, and we're gonna speak to that as well. But a lot of casuals, they'll buy like a console, not just a PlayStation, just console in general. But over the past couple years, Call of Duty has been synonymous with PlayStation because of the exclusive deals and things like that. But when it comes to Call of Duty and how, let me share this out with my boy. He just texted me. I'm about to send him the link. He about to pop in the chat and be like, you good, bro? So Call of Duty has never been a big part of my life. It's been a big part. I'll be honest with you guys. This was definitely an acquisition that I did not see coming. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I'm gonna be real with you. This acquisition I didn't see coming. Not at all. I honestly would have thought they would have like purchased like Ubisoft or something like that, but to like purchase Activision for 70 billion, man. When I seen it yesterday, guys, it was a moment of silence for me, man. I'm being honest. Like, it was a moment of silence where I was just like, yo, that's crazy. That is crazy. You feel me? I was just like, yo, what? Cause I saw like the rumors and all that stuff, kind of like, oh, it's a rumor and it's not really real, blah blah blah, all that bullshit, right? Well, I seen like the rumors, and then like literally like maybe like 10 seconds later, or like 10 minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes later, Microsoft and Xbox, they announced it. And I'm like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh shit. And like, yo, it was just a moment of silence. I was just like, yo, that's crazy. Right? So they bought Bethesda. They bought Activision for 70 billion. Really, it was like 68.7, but let's round that up to 70, because 70 just sounds even more gruesome. Right? So, yo, Eric the Bear, what's good, bro? So they acquired Activision for 70 billion, and it's one of those things for me. I was shocked, and like I said, when it comes to, I said this, I was on Thrasher's show yesterday, and even in the spaces, when it comes to Activision, the most important thing for me from that specific publisher and publication is Call of Duty, right? I'm not really into the Overwatch. I'm not really into Warcraft and all that other stuff, StarCraft and whatever else they have. I'm not really big on that. I do understand the magnitude of those as well, especially Overwatch, because I did play Overwatch day one when it first came out way back on the PS4 and Xbox One gen. So I understand how popular that game is, and how much that game has taken off, and the competitive scene and stuff like that when it comes to, yo, Jez, what's good, bro? The competitive scene when it comes to Overwatch. StarCraft, I'm not really into like those RTS and things like that. Warcraft, I played Warcraft a long time ago. It's still very popular to this day, right? But I think the king of that MMO scene right now is Final Fantasy 14. Not to say that Warcraft or World of Warcraft. I kept saying Warcraft. World of Warcraft. Yeah, wow. Y'all know what I mean. Like, with World of Warcraft or WoW, that is still a very popular game to this day, right? And so I understand the magnitude of that get as well. But I think the king of MMOs right now is Final Fantasy 14, right? And I'm not just saying that because it's not on Xbox, because it is on PC and PlayStation platforms. But we have the facts, data, and statistics to match that based off recent articles of it having like 25 million concurrent players, and they had to stop selling the game for God's sakes because too many people were playing the game. So I think the most successful MMO in the scene of that, but WoW still has its players. That's a lot. That's a big get, especially if they put WoW on Xbox, right? That's going to be a big get. So right, when it comes to King, which is Candy Crush and all those mobile games and things like that, I remember Candy Crush way back in the day when I used to use like with the whole like getting lives from your friends on Facebook and Candy Crush definitely can be very, very addicting. Even to this day, man, I know it still has a huge following. I remember I was playing that way back in the day on the phone, to pass the time. So, Candy Crush is most definitely a big, that's huge within itself, right? For that mobile market. And obviously the other tons of games that's being made on mobile from King, right, is a big thing as well. What's the other one? Call of Duty. For me, again, we're gonna touch Call of Duty separate because I kind of want to speak a little bit more in depth on that and the severity. But Ratchet and Clank, not Ratchet and Clank, excuse me, Crash Bandicoot, right? Some of those other smaller titles that still can have an impact, right? A lot of what Microsoft is gaining here is definitely big, right? On multiple fronts, right? The PC front with WoW, the console front with COD, and then the mobile front with King, with Candy Crush, and all those other games. So we can't deny the magnitude of this get, right? This is a huge get, and crazy. And now Crash is definitely exclusive. Spyro, right? Shout out to Rollo Spyro. Crash is now exclusive to Xbox, which is crazy. When Crash's history, it is crazy that Crash is now exclusive to Xbox and living within that ecosystem. Mind you, a lot of these Xbox dudes, and I'm talking about like the fanboys and the zealots. A lot of those fanboys and zealots, they don't really care. A lot of these games they don't really care about, man. It's more. I'm getting ahead of myself, man. I'm all over the place. Let me stick to one thing at a time. So yeah, listen. Regardless if you, and I said this on Twitter yesterday as well. Regardless if you care about Activision and their games or don't. One thing I think all of us as gamers, and I'm not just talking about PlayStation gamers, I'm talking about across the board. If there's one thing that everyone has to acknowledge, right? We all have to, as a collective, Microsoft, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, PC, whoever, regardless of where you prefer to play your games, one thing that we all can collectively agree upon is that this is a power move within the game industry, and this is going to shake up the industry as a whole, right? On multiple fronts, right? We saw that, and I'm going to touch on that too, because a lot of people that don't really understand how stocks and things like that work, are talking about that 20 billion that came off of Sony's stock, right, or whatever. We're gonna touch on that as well. I just want to explain that from my perspective, from what I understand and how I know, based off how I invest and how investing works. We'll talk about that in a second. But this acquisition is definitely a power move by Microsoft. Is Microsoft asserting their dominance within the industry, right? They've got, this is a $2.7 trillion market cap net worth company. You understand? That is monumental within an industry of that is monumental within a industry of gaming when it comes to, when you look at what some of these other companies are worth or what they, what they're pulling in and things like that. And obviously a lot of that isn't attributed to the Xbox division, right? Let's be realistic here. That's Apple. Excuse me. I'm all over the place. My mind is racing like a million miles a minute. That's Microsoft Office, right? That's the OS, Windows, right? Also, a lot of their government contracts, right? Microsoft as a company, I'm not talking about the Xbox division. Microsoft as a company has a lot of government, if not all of the government contracts. So, a lot of that stuff, and obviously their cloud servers, service with the cloud, with the Azure servers and the server farms and the cloud architecture, right? Because the three big players within that cloud architecture scene, and I'm not talking cloud as in streaming games and all that, right? I'm just talking cloud architecture in the business of how the cloud is moving as a whole. I'm not just talking gaming here, but when it comes to the cloud architecture scene, right? The big players in that is Microsoft with Microsoft Azure, but also Amazon with AWS. And there's a third one. I forget what the third one is, but the big boys on the block is AWS and Azure, right? And with Azure, they're pulling down stupid amount of bread from that cloud market, right? With the cloud architecture, cloud infrastructure, and shit like that. Microsoft most definitely has their hands as a business. Excuse me. Microsoft definitely has their hands in a lot of pots, right? In a lot of different areas, right? Where it's supplementing and offsetting the Xbox division. Like when you look at the Xbox division, they go to, Phil goes to Daddy Satya, Papa Satya, and be like, hey, we want to build this. And obviously Satya in the past, he has spoken to his belief and his vision when it comes to gaming and how Microsoft is all in, right? He didn't say Xbox, he said Microsoft. Microsoft is all in. Microsoft's vision when it comes to the metaverse and all these other things. When you look at the ventures that Microsoft as a company, again, not Xbox, Microsoft as a company, Microsoft is definitely a big boy on the block in that regard, right? Those are things that you can't ignore when it comes to when you see acquisitions like this. Yo, Predman, yo, Blackmon, what's good? This is what y'all get for corporate slaving for these companies. Hey, yo, Blackmon, what the fuck you talking about? Yo, shout out to Blackmon in the chat. Yo, Strick, what's good? Predman, shout out to everybody in the chat. PlayStation greatness. Persona doing all this talking for a company that doesn't even care about him. Crazy. What are you talking about? We're having a conversation. Blackmon, what the hell are you talking about? Everything ain't about corporate slaving and shilling. It's a dialogue and a monologue and a conversation talking about Microsoft and how they're in this position. It's a conversation. Like, Blackmon, what the fuck is wrong with you? You good, bro? You had a rough day at work or something? Shout out to Blackmon in the chat, man. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. So yeah, all that stuff, right? It's crazy. So when you see an acquisition like this of a $7 billion acquisition, when you look at what Microsoft has their hands in terms of other business ventures, I'm not surprised. Microsoft didn't get to a $3 trillion market evaluation, things like that, just off of gaming. That, like, you feel me? So to see that, I'm not surprised. Like, Microsoft's got the money, man. Microsoft's got the money. Shout out to Bari. You feel me? Microsoft most definitely has the money when it comes to doing these types of acquisitions. Now, here's the flip side. Let's flip the coin and let's go to the other side, right? When it comes to... Hey, yo, shout out to, who that? Triculus? Trelsius, I appreciate you, man, for subscribing. So, let's flip the coin and look at that from the other perspective of PlayStation. Now, listen, when it came to the Bethesda deal, we definitely was looking at that and it was like, a lot of people were kind of like, oh my God, yo, when it comes to this, when it comes to that, blah, blah, blah. Everyone was definitely saying, yo, PlayStation needs to respond. PlayStation needs to buy this, buy that. And listen, at that time, I was like, yo, nah, this, let PlayStation do what they do. Because honestly, realistically speaking, I still to this day don't think Bethesda would have been something that really is detrimental to the industry or detrimental to the industry when it comes to their games potentially not being able to come to another platform. Yes, there's a lot of people who play Elder Scrolls, Fallout, all that other stuff. There's a lot of people that are excited for Starfield, even though we don't know what the fuck it is. It's a lot of people excited for that stuff, right? But when it comes to those games specifically, no one really, it's not detrimental, right? It wouldn't make or break the industry, right? It wouldn't topple the industry, right? When you look at a juggernaut like Activision. And this is something that I was talking about yesterday in the space. You know, there are certain juggernauts within the industry where it's kind of like a how can I put it? How can I explain it? Think of it as like a community. Okay, I'll think of it like this. There's juggernauts. There are certain juggernaut publishers within the industry that function as a community watering hole, right? A community like surplus, right? Where everyone in the village, everyone in the community benefits off of this publisher. It's not just one person. It's everyone that's benefiting from that, right? And it's a trickle down effect. You know, and this is something I think I was talking to Thrash about this yesterday. It's a trickle down effect, and we're seeing how those things can be detrimental to PlayStation, right? So the juggernauts within the industry, in my opinion, again, some people may disagree or feel differently in the chat. Definitely let me know what you think those juggernauts might be. But I feel like there's certain juggernauts in the industry that kind of function as a community support, right? Like not the backbone. I don't want to call it the backbone, but a lot of the revenue and things like that that's generated, everyone can kind of eat off of. You get what I'm saying? Yo, Tricelsius, it's Tricelsius. Thank you. I appreciate you, Tri. He says, you know me as Tremoka on Twitter. Like your style of staying on topic and keeping it factual. Yo, Tricelsius. Tremoka. I'm calling you Tremoka. Yo, shout out to Tremoka in the chat, man. Appreciate you for subbing, man. And I hope you enjoy your statement and enjoy the content, right? All right. So when it comes to niggas was in a space at 70. Hey, yo, Bond, for the bonds in the chat, don't like time out Bond. And yo, that's just Bond being Bond. Yo, Bond funny as fuck, man. Shout out to Bond. First off, I wasn't doing no spaces no fucking 7 in the morning. My spaces was definitely at like lunchtime after I got some work done. Anyway, when you look at PlayStation, when you look at those juggernauts, the juggernauts within the industry is, in my opinion, Activision, EA, Ubisoft, Take-Two. It might be one more that I'm missing. I might be missing one more, but I feel like those are the juggernauts of the industry. So what I mean by that is everyone benefits off that, right? Because if you have people buying, so again, let's use COD because I think COD is a perfect example. If you have games like Call of Duty that are available on PlayStation, available on Xbox, available on PC and in Steam and in Epic or wherever it is, that type of juggernaut that pulls in a lot of people, albeit casuals, hardcore, whatever you want to identify as, what that does for, I think, the industry and all of the companies is everyone gets to eat. Everyone gets a piece of the pie. You get what I'm saying? So you got everyone kind of like, you know, you got PlayStation, and albeit PlayStation has 70, I think 60 or 70% of the player base, which is crazy, right? But, you know, a game like Call of Duty that's available on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC, you got people that'll buy it on PlayStation, you buy it on Xbox, buy it on PC. That means that turns into a percentage of a sale, a percentage of profit earned for PlayStation, Microsoft PC, or Steam, I should say. And then, you know, if they're buying the microtransactions, all that stuff, right? And then, you know, if their friends are here or there, or whatever the case may be, it kind of serves its purpose within the industry, in my opinion, right? When you take something like that off the table, again, this is just my opinion, guys. Like we're talking, it's a conversation. When you take something like that off the table, I feel like what you do is you kind of put the industry in a frenzy, but you also take away that juggernaut that helps everyone eat. Now you have a lot of people, a lot of fanboys, a lot of the quote unquote neutrals. You know, a lot of the
I'm a console engineer too. The cap.
You know, the Great for Gamers crowd.
But this is great for gamers.
You'll have a lot of the Great for Gamers crowd that'll say, oh, well, you know, this is great for Microsoft, or this is, and again, it's phenomenal for Microsoft. I don't think any of us are gonna dispute that. But if we're looking at this at a larger perspective, and again, guys, it doesn't matter if you care about Microsoft or not. It doesn't matter if you like Activision or not. You have to acknowledge that there are certain publishers and the games that they put out that help the entire industry as a whole, right? When you take something like an Activision away from everyone being able to potentially eat, what that does is that you kind of suffocate certain people within that industry. And I think that's something that we saw with this Activision, with this acquisition of Activision, because $70 billion, that's a lot, right? And Microsoft, they put that up and it's theirs, right? That's all them, right? So now what you have is you have a company like Microsoft who now has a major player like Activision that's taken off the board, that's taken off the table now. And so now whatever revenue that was being generated from PlayStation, Nintendo, or wherever, because really PC and Microsoft aren't really affected by this, because those games will still come to PC and they'll still be on Xbox. So it's really a PlayStation thing, really, because even when Nintendo, I know what y'all love to say. They're an anomaly. They're an anomaly. They're an anomaly. Y'all know how y'all love to talk with Nintendo and the shit y'all love to say about Nintendo. So, when that type of revenue is now taken off the table, that has to be made up somewhere, because now you have potential sales that might leave the console, might leave the ecosystem. That means that you can entice them to buy other games or whatever the case may be. Because again, Call of Duty is a system seller, right? I don't care how anyone tries to slice it or change that up. Call of Duty is a system seller title, right? That moves system, that moves units. It just does. Like you cannot dispute that, right? So when you have something like that taken off the table, now in PlayStation's regard, now what they're tasked with is two things, maybe even three things. The first thing is, how do we make up that revenue that might potentially be lost? Now, obviously, you got people that are saying, oh, well, I don't think that Microsoft will take Call of Duty away from PlayStation. They're too big of a player, too much within the community, blah, blah, blah. All that bullshit. And, I'm not talking about Warzone, right? Because Warzone does make a lot of money. And Warzone is something that Activision is supporting separate from the mainline Call of Duties. And, a lot of people are definitely on that, playing that. And Microsoft did say that they were going to keep that on there and still support it and all that stuff. So in that regard, there might not be nothing to worry about right then and there. It's like, all right, we still got the cash cow in a sense. We just now are splitting it with a different entity. Fine, right? Because now you're not splitting it with Activision. You're just splitting it with Microsoft. Okay. So, in terms of that Warzone money, all right, it's still there. Y'all still can play it. It's fine. But now we have to look at the mainline Call of Duty. So I'm not talking Call of Duty Warzone. I'm talking Vanguard, Cold War. And obviously these games are still remain on PlayStation. I'm just using these games as an example of the future titles. So future Call of Duty titles. So the next COD this year is supposed to be Modern Warfare 2, right? The deal with Microsoft and Activision is not supposed to be finalized until next year. And I think Q3 of next year, which is around between April and June of 2023. So this year, PlayStation is safe, and all that is fine. I'm looking to the future of not even 2023, because 2023 COD might even come to PlayStation as well. I'm looking at 2024 and beyond, because one of the things that really clicked in my brain yesterday, where I was like, okay, I definitely see the play here, and I've seen it before, but seeing them drop this type of spread on a publisher like this, and what they're saying that they're trying to do in XYZ and all that shit, this is definitely the long game, right? I think a lot of people in the community are kind of looking at this in the here and now, right? Because listen, PlayStation has this year, I think, this is a very strong year for PlayStation, extremely strong. Call of Duty, Horizon Forbidden West, Sifu, GT7, Forspoken, God of War Ragnarok. Next year is looking very strong for PlayStation. And this year we might get Final Fantasy 16, even though I think it's coming out 2023, but I'll mention it for 2022. And then obviously next year in 2023, we got Wolverine and Spider-Man, right? KOTOR, and many other titles that's in the pipeline. Factions 2 might drop this year, right? Last of Us Remastered. There's a ton of things. There's a ton of things on the horizon. No pun intended. There's a ton of things on the horizon for PlayStation where, 2022, 2023 look very, 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 very strong for PlayStation, right? It looks very strong for it potentially could look strong for Microsoft as well. Although I think this year is going to be another weak year for Microsoft, but we'll talk about that at a different time. So when it comes to PlayStation and what PlayStation has down the pipeline, they're good. They're good. It's like, yo, man, they got the games. You know, I see a lot of people saying PlayStation just needs to keep doing what they're doing, which they have been doing. Even through the Bethesda acquisition, they still have been making great games. They still have been cultivating great studios and doing great acquisitions for acquisitions that make sense, right? You know, with the Bluepoint acquisition, Insomniac's Insomniac's acquisition in 2023. Hold on, I'm talking too much. I need to drink something. And all that stuff, right? So I think as of right now, PlayStation I think is fine. But we have we have to look at this from the perspective of the long game, right? Because Microsoft's talking about the metaverse. You know, we see all this NFT bullshit and all this other stuff. What I'm seeing from some of the PlayStation crowd is people giving these Nintendo-esque responses. You feel me? Giving these Nintendo-esque responses of, oh, they'll be fine. You know, I even seen somebody the other day say, well, PlayStation's in their own lane. I said, oh, hell nah, bruh. Y'all not about to do this like y'all how y'all do Nintendo. Nah, man. Like, stop that. Stop that. Right? No. Right? PlayStation and Xbox are most definitely competitors. I don't give a fuck what these people try to tell you about. Yeah, Microsoft's competitors is Amazon and Google and all this bullshit. Man, are those competitors as well? Absolutely. But they're not competitors in the same sense of the competitor that Microsoft and Sony have, Xbox and PlayStation have traditionally been, right? Which is creating putting out the best games to get the most people onto your platform. And obviously we see that Microsoft's vision has shifted to Game Pass and trying to get the most subscriptions as possible and trying to get Game Pass on the most devices as possible, right? That is the vision. But when I see people try to say that, you know, oh yeah, Amazon and Google and all this are their focus and target and their competition, what console are these people putting out? What really are they now? Obviously, in the acquisition department, possibly where, like, you know, Amazon and Google or whoever else could, you know, have that same type of acquisition buying power, or Tencent, right? Tencent have that buying power where they can buy shit up. Absolutely. So if we're talking in regards to that, sure. But when it comes to the games and creating great games, we're not going to say, and that's what I see a lot of people doing in this in the community these past couple days, dismissing great games being made for acquisitions and trying to use that as what's most important. Now, absolutely, I think that PlayStation needs to, and listen, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. I'm gonna be and y'all know I'm always keeping it 100. I always keep it honest when it comes to PlayStation and what this acquisition does for PlayStation. This definitely hurts PlayStation on a number of levels when it comes to potential subscription sales to PS Plus, potential purchases on PS Store, potential console sales, right? And obviously their stock. We're going to talk about their stock in a second, right? I want to tackle that by itself. This hurts PlayStation on a number of levels. I do not care if you do not like Activision or Call of Duty or whatever, Microsoft, whatever. You cannot deny the fact that this definitely does hurt PlayStation. Now, this is where my thinking is, and listen, I slept on it. I slept on it. Yo, shout out to Famoa, man. Appreciate you for the super chat. It says, I think Sony planning to take over Asia and Europe. Just saying. Hey, possibly. Especially with Jim Ryan at the helm, absolutely. So this is my thinking when it comes to PlayStation, right? And y'all know I'm gonna keep it 100. PlayStation is in a good position in a good position on one or two fronts. One thing that we cannot deny is that PlayStation's quality of game making is unmatched. It's unmatched, right? That is something that they have going for them. PlayStation also has some of the most talented developers in the industry. That's unmatched. One of the things that's now kind of weighing against PlayStation is the casual crowd. And listen, a lot of people underestimate casuals. People think casuals are just like these poor, broke people who don't have jobs or don't have disposable income or money or all these different things. Yo, the casual market, or people that are fan of genres of games and things like that, or a fan of a game or something like that, people will go where the games are. Like that whole Twitter echo chamber of like thinking that casuals, people saying, oh, people are going to stay on PlayStation, all this. Listen, yeah, people will stay on PlayStation. Absolutely. But you will see a percentage of people that will go to PC or go to an Xbox or whatever case may be if Call of Duty is exclusive to Xbox. And listen, I think Call of Duty is going to be exclusive. A lot of people telling me they're not. And, you know, people are pointing to what Phil Spencer said on the CNBC interview. I saw that. We also, you know, this is the same thing with what people were saying back with Bethesda, where people were saying, oh, well, you know, Elder Scrolls has been on PlayStation platforms for how long now? Starfield was announced for next-gen consoles, right? They have to put those games on the PlayStation platform. No, they really don't. And lo and behold, what did Phil Spencer say? These games are not coming to PlayStation. Like, a lot of people need to understand, these dudes ain't dropping 70 billion. First off, 70 billion ain't shit to these dudes. They not dropping that type of bread to share shit. Like, definitely get that out your head. If it happens, fine. Call of Duty is a large enough franchise to where, and when you look at the split, when it comes to the community split, potentially, yes. Potentially, I will say that Call of Duty, and I'll stick with only COD for right now. Call of Duty most definitely is a franchise that I could definitely see Microsoft, Satya, Phil Spencer, and whoever's going to be the new CEO once Kotick is out, because, you know, Bobby Kotick getting the fuck up out of there, man. Microsoft ain't playing that shit. You know, whoever is the new CEO, like, I can definitely see them looking at the facts, data, and statistics and being able to convince Satya and convince Satya to be like, hey, man, look, I think we need to keep putting Call of Duty out on PlayStation because look at the money we are losing. I agree with the community that are saying that, but I also am looking at Microsoft, looking at their vision, looking at their plan, looking at the long-term goals that they're trying to get out of this type of acquisition, get in terms of their Game Pass subscriptions and what they're what they're trying to reach in terms of reaching this 2 or 3 billion gamers or whatever case may be. And I can see them saying, nah, we'll take the hit and funnel that community and funnel those fans onto a PlayStation, onto an Xbox console or onto PC and into Game Pass. Funnel them into Game Pass. I see them wholeheartedly doing that. And I'm not talking about Warzone. I'm talking future mainline Call of Duties. And if that's something that they continue to do, it's going to hurt PlayStation. Regardless of how you slice it and spin it, it's going to hurt PlayStation. That is a problem. That is a huge problem. PlayStation doesn't have Microsoft money. They don't. I ain't gonna cap. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, they don't have that type of bread, so they can't. That type of revenue taken off the table, it will hurt them. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Carlos, appreciate you for the super chat. It says Phil is just throwing that Microsoft money around to hide how he lacks creativity. He knows he can't match PlayStation. Absolutely. We know that. We all know that. And I think this level of an acquisition also proves that. It definitely proves that. They're definitely trying to build the catalog and get people into Game Pass, and Game Pass is the future and blah, blah, blah. Yes. All that stuff that people love to preach. Absolutely. But they definitely are, they can foot that bill. Yo, Andre Clayman, appreciate you for the super chat. He says, PlayStation ain't got no games. Literally, you funny, Andre. But those are two things. Now let's talk about how it's hurting PlayStation, right? because obviously once this news hit. Now, here's one thing I want to explain to people, right? For those that aren't investors, right, or don't really follow the stock market or whatever, one thing I definitely want to make abundantly clear: the stock market is a very, very volatile place, extremely, extremely volatile, right? To where when big news like this hits, I am not surprised that Sony stock did dip. Yeah, market is very volatile. 20 billion off. That's definitely huge, and that's crazy. That's crazy. But at the same time, stuff like that is expected. Once you see Horizon and all that stuff start to release, and GT7 and the PSVR, more news starts to come out and all that, that number will definitely go back up. Absolutely, trust me. Market is a very volatile place, and I'll show you how volatile it is right now. I'll show you how volatile it is, man. Real quick. I'll show you how volatile it is real quick. Is it Blizzard? They're on the dash. They're on the NASDAQ one, right? So, real quick. Shout out to Yo, Forget Me Not. Appreciate you, man, for the super chat. Says people thinking too small when it comes to PS money. They can't outright buy a big publisher. They do have their name and can do mergers and loans. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that in a second. Carl Lenka, keeping the hopes alive. Nah, I ain't keeping no hopes alive, man. I'm bringing you the facts. That's all I'm doing. I don't give a fuck about keeping no hope alive. That shit means nothing. I'm gonna show you how volatile the market is, real quick, and then we'll move on. All right. So Activision Blizzard, just look at the last month, right? They've been going through those scandals and all that bullshit. Again, the market is a very volatile place, right? Back in December, they're at $61 a share. Now, after the acquisition, they're at $82. They jumped $20. So if you bought some Activision stock, you ain't good right now. You ain't real good right now. I think Apple's traded on the NASDAQ, yeah. Look at Apple. Apple's is another $1 trillion company, 2.7 trillion market cap evaluation, right? In December, 169, it went up to 180, 182, and then it dipped to 170, and now it's in 160. That's Apple. That's Apple. And that's just a month. That's just a month. Apple, one of the most profitable companies in the world. Amazon. Another one of the most profitable companies in the world. Look at the last month for Amazon. Most profitable company in the world. 1.6 trillion market cap evaluation, right? 3,341, right? Back in December 20th, right? Peaked up to 3,400, 3,408, 3,450, dropped to 32, dropped to 33. It's at 31.25. It's at 31.25. Microsoft. I think they're traded on the NASDAQ, right? Yeah. Okay. Let's look at Microsoft for the past month. Again, $2.28 trillion market valuation. You feel me? And listen, I'm not trying to. I want to put this out there. I'm not trying to damage control shit. You understand? Again, this hurts PlayStation, right? There is no damage control. Only thing I'm trying to explain here is how volatile the market is when it comes to this type of stuff. And seeing the dip that PlayStation took off of this, the market swung and the market moved in the direction of where they thought it was safest. So when you see big acquisitions like this happens, even with the acquisition with Disney and Fox, when that acquisition happened a couple years ago, the market was very volatile at that moment, and a lot of people started shifting money around. That happens on a daily basis, regardless of what company it is. That stuff happens. We got Microsoft, $2.28 trillion market cap valuation, just spent 70 billion, right? Let's look at the last month, right? December 20th, $319 a share. You feel me? They jumped up 342, 336, 329, 316, 313, 312. They're at $303. Off of a month, they dropped $30. Off of a month, they dropped $40. Because from December 20th to December 29th, it jumped up to $341 a share. And then it dipped. It's at $303 a share, almost a $40 dip within the span of a month. This is what I'm trying to explain to y'all. The market is volatile. This hurts PlayStation major. Look at Sony. Sony, perfect example. 1 month, market valuation, 118. It went up to 123, 127, 127, 126, 128, right? And then obviously when the news hit, right, 124, it dipped. It dipped heavy. News hit, when the news hit? Yesterday? What's today? The 17th? So 17th was a holiday. Was it Monday or Tuesday? I forget which day, but it took a dip. You see the dip? You see that long dip? Pause. 119. Yeah, yesterday. So yesterday it was at 118, 115, and then at the close of business today it's at 110. It dipped. The market is a volatile place, and I'm not using this as an excuse for PlayStation in any regard, right? This hurt PlayStation on a number of levels. You understand? When it comes to that potential money that could be that's now potentially taken off the table for Call of Duty, and obviously, you know, the stock and all that shit. They lost $20 off $20 billion yesterday. The market is like that. And I'm showing you this to just explain to you that when it comes to the stock market, when it comes to how the market moves with the way businesses are moving. An acquisition of that level from Microsoft, that's a big deal on multiple levels. A lot of people are going to move money around. It affected Sony. A lot of people are going to move that money around. That's just how business works, right? PlayStation most definitely, because if you look at it from December, because on the 18th it was at what? January 18th it was at 115 a share. From December to it was up to about 113. Yeah. That 20 billion hurts. It most definitely does. But at the same time, that's the market. That's the market. And listen, this ain't no investment course or investment class. I'm not a financial advisor by no means. I read a lot of financial books and you know, I follow a lot of finance for a couple of years now, but I'm no financial advisor by any means at all. No marketing advisor, none of that. I just understand how the market moves. I understand how the market works. And I understand when dips like that happen, it's definitely going to affect the company. It's definitely going to be money taken off the table. When you have money of that caliber being taken off the table, the market is going to react. The market is going to react when that level of money is taken off the table, regardless of who you are. PlayStation, Microsoft, Nintendo, so whoever, that market, that money's getting taken off the table. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. Yo, Big Avell, what's good? Jeff B Gaming, what's good? Persona, what do you think Sony gonna do to get back up? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I'm gonna be honest. Yesterday, when I first saw the news, I was kind of acting off impulse a little bit when I was saying, like, I slept on it today, and I was really, really, really thinking about it, man. Like I was thinking about the shit all day. I'm not even gonna cap. Yesterday I was like, yo, man, PlayStation needs to buy a publisher, blah blah blah. They need to get at least one under their belt. I still feel that way, right? And listen, this isn't no acquisition wars, because again, it's about the games at the end of the day, right? A lot of these people, they're making it about acquisition wars, right? It's really about the games, how good the games are, how good the quality is, and stuff like that. But I also am looking at this from a business and a longevity perspective, right? The long run. Now, listen, PlayStation is always going to be around, right? I do not think PlayStation will ever, because Microsoft has always been a $1 billion company that's been making many, many, many more billions than PlayStation for a very, very long time. Like, this is no secret. This is nothing new. And PlayStation has survived. Nintendo, is a little guy in the grand scheme of things, but they've been selling and creating some of the best games since the 80s. You get what I'm saying? So I think the way gaming, my whole thing is the way gaming and the industry is shifting, and I'm really focused on PlayStation when I say this. The way the industry is shifting as a whole when it comes to the other players that are now in the game, but also the type of business deals that we're starting to see happen, right? PlayStation is very old school with a lot of things. A lot of Japanese businessmen are very old school when it comes to how they conduct business, or they're slow to change as quickly as a lot of other companies might, right? PlayStation, I still think, does a lot of business very old school, right? The third party deals for games and stuff like that, I still think those types of things are still important to keep your console unique, right? And obviously exclusives are still very important. My stance has not changed on that. But I think when it comes to how business is being conducted now, I think PlayStation needs to look at what's happening, and I think they need to act accordingly. What do I mean by that? I'm not saying they need to go out and buy Take-Two or buy every publisher under the sun just so that Microsoft can't have it, right? Because one, they don't have the money to do that, and two, I wouldn't want all of their resources to be put into trying to keep up with the Joneses. You understand? That's one thing. That keeping up with the Joneses. I don't know if you guys ever seen that show, but the whole keeping up with the Joneses thing, where you gotta have the better version of this because you're trying to upstage your neighbors or upstage your coworkers or whatever, who don't give a fuck about you. You get what I'm saying? I don't want PlayStation to be in that mindset of keeping up with the Joneses. Absolutely not. But I will say that I do think that PlayStation needs to look at the market, look at what is viable for their future. And I'm not talking next year or the year after. I'm talking next generation, 6-7 years down the line. They need to look at the market, move, and listen, they're probably already doing this, right? Like, one thing about how business works, business is always happening even when you're asleep. So when you're sleeping sound in your bed with your wife or your significant other or whoever, business is still being made. Business is still happening. Money is exchanging hands. Emails are being sent, and things are trying to be acquired, bought, and all that shit all the time, right? I think PlayStation needs to view the gaming industry, where they want to position themselves, right? For the long term and build upon that. They have great games. They have some of the greatest developers in the business, some of the most highest quality games in the business. I do think PlayStation should grab one publisher to keep under their belt. There's one thing I don't think will happen, and obviously regulators and lawmakers and stuff like that, there won't be a monopoly. Like a lot of people think Microsoft is just going to buy EA, buy this, buy that, no. They might be able to get one more publisher, but after it definitely could potentially become a monopoly at some point because, or not even monopoly, but regulators and lawmakers will definitely look at that and be like, hey man, you buying up a little too much shit. Yeah, you can't buy none of this no more, right? That potentially could happen, but then again, there's other big players, Amazon, Tencent, whatever. So lawmakers, the industry is in a free fall. I think the industry is in a free fall right now. It's first come, first serve. It's whoever can get the big bucks. Whoever can shell out the big bucks to get that exclusive content, because as much as people love to claim that exclusives don't matter, clearly these companies think otherwise. Clearly these companies view exclusives and exclusive content and must-have things to make their platform or their service or whatever they're trying to do more enticing. That stuff is very important, right? So all that whole exclusive crowd is saying exclusives don't matter. You know.
Cut the cap.
MJ, talk to him.
Stop it. Get some help.
Get some help, because you're full of shit and you don't know what you're talking about. Exclusives matter. These acquisitions prove that. They matter on a very large scale. So I think PlayStation needs to look at how they want to position themselves for the next 5 to 10 years. This is a 5 to 10 year plan. This isn't an overnight thing, because they got the games, they got things shored up, and they got a lot of things down the pipeline that we don't even know about. Yo, Navigator, man, I appreciate you for the super chat. Always, man, coming through. He says Sony needs to dedicate an experienced FPS studio, drop the bag and do whatever it takes to acquire Bungie. No publisher required. No one, nah. Bungie, as much as I love Destiny, I don't think Bungie is an acquisition that necessarily needs to be acquired. And I don't think Bungie wants to be bought. They got up under Microsoft's heels and then got up under Activision and got the hell up from under them heels. Plus, they have a game that's being made by Tencent, right? I don't think they're in Tencent paid like 150 million or something like that to get their game made. Bungie's not in any position to want to be bought. I don't think Bungie is a studio that I think they need to look at or buy, right? I will say that I do think they should grab at least one publisher, just because you want a piece of that pie, man. Fuck that. Like, yo, listen, you want a piece of that pie, but you need to buy what you can afford, 2, what makes sense to what you're trying to build, and 3, position that's going to help you position yourself to where you are a cornerstone of a market. At this point, PlayStation needs to work on building themselves up to be a cornerstone of a market. They've really already have 2 out of 3 done. They got the best games in the industry, the highest quality games in the industry, the most talented developers, right? They got a great support studio system. They got some of the good acquisitions under their belt with Bluepoint, Firesprite, Insomniac, right? And is there one more I'm missing? Right? And I'm just talking like mainline studios, not really support studios. Nixis and all that is also important as well. But Insomniac, Bluepoint, Firesprite, great pickups, right? I do think having a publisher under their belt like Square, personally, I think Square Enix. Like, I really do think that would be the best pickup for them, because that would allow them to kind of get a lock on that JRPG market, right? Like, truly lock that down, because they already get a lot of those games anyway, right? So I don't like, and I'm not even just talking about Square Enix games. I'm just talking like, games made by side games, the JRPGs coming from Bandai Namco, the JRPGs that's coming from some of these indie studios, Japanese studios, and things like that. A lot of those JRPGs are definitely coming to the platform already. So I do not think they need to waste a lot of money on trying to buy up that type of stuff. But I do think having at least one publisher under their belt that's at the caliber of like a Square, Capcom, a Square, Capcom, a Sega, right? Get that kind of squared away, right? I do think that would help them in kind of positioning themselves into a specific cornerstone of the market, because you can't play you if you're gonna play this acquisition type of shit, you're gonna lose. I still think they need to purchase studios that make sense. And shout out to always Mad Gaming. Sony is still king. Absolutely they're still king. But I do think that type of thing will not last forever. That type of thinking will have, Rome was impenetrable, right? And then Rome fell. Saigon fell in 10 days. You get what I'm saying? Some of the greatest societies in history have fallen. Some of the strongest and greatest societies, again, Rome was considered one of the strongest military, the most money. Even how our economic structure is now is based off Roman times, right? Rome fell. Even Rome fell. You understand? Saigon, all these other places will fall. With Sony and how Sony is and how they move, I do think Sony needs to look at this market, man. Like, seriously, look at what's going on and position yourself accordingly and move and just keep on putting out the content. Build up your already existing studios to be able to pump out 2 or 3 games, right? Pump out more games, build 2 or 3 not studios, but teams, right? So 200-person teams, right? 150, 200-person teams at each studio, so that you got I want PlayStation studios, all of them, to work like how Insomniac works. And I think that's something that PlayStation is working on, because Insomniac are workhorses, man. And I want all of PlayStation Studios to be able to produce and work at that level. If PlayStation can get all of their studios at the quantity of an Insomniac, where there's 2 and 3 I think Insomniac has 4 separate teams that all are creating games simultaneously. If PlayStation can get all their studios in an Insomniac type of work environment and structure, I swear to you, they will be monsters, because they will be producing shit like crazy across the board. Then obviously you got Jade Raymond Studio, which is Haven. You got Firewalk. You got Deviation. Those Ember. I do think Ember Labs, right? Some of those other smaller studios that really do mesh well with PlayStation and really bring out what makes PlayStation great, bring out new people, still able to put out the new ideas and put out those strong titles that's going to pull the new crowd in and pull people in, the new IPs, high quality games. Get those studios under your belt as well. Get a publisher and cornerstone yourself into a market. At this point, that is what needs to be done. Because if we're going to play the acquisition game, you're going to lose. Keeping up with the Joneses, you're going to lose. But one thing they will not lose is creating the most high quality, most sought after games in the industry. And that is even before all this bullshit. Through generation, PlayStation has continued to create the highest quality games in the industry. That's not going to change. If they stay true to that, stay true to the talent, stay true to the quality, stay true to the games, the IPs, it's not going to... They fine. What a lot of people want is for PlayStation to move like Microsoft. No, I see a lot of people saying, shout out to Jeff Grubb. That's my boy, man. Like, respect. I rock with Jeff Grubb. I rock with Jeff Grubb, man. That's my boy. That's my boy, right? I bookmarked the tweet. Shout out to Jeff Grubb, man. That's my boy, man. That's my boy, man. I got a lot of respect for Jeff Grubb. I know a lot of y'all don't like Jeff Grubb. I got a lot of respect for the man, right? A lot of respect. But this is a bad game and take. This is a terrible game and take, right? So he writes for Venture. He writes for Venture Beat, not Games Beat. Is it Games Beat? Which one you write for, Grubb? Let me see. Venture Beat, not Games Beat. Anyway. So, GamesBeat, they put out an article that says, should Sony welcome Xbox Game Pass onto PS5? Excuse me, absolutely fucking not. I know, right? But Jeff Grubb, he said, to me, this seems like the obvious solution. Sony could dictate terms if it comes to the table today, because Microsoft still needs PlayStation 5 more than Sony needs Game Pass, but that could change quickly. Like PlayStation 5 being the only console where you get both PlayStation 5 games and Xbox games on day one, that's something that Sony could easily build on while taking at least 30% from Xbox Game Pass subs. And so I put, Jeff, you good peoples, I have to respectfully disagree. Game Pass being on PlayStation would directly impact what PlayStation is trying to build. Plus, it would raise the question of why isn't PlayStation putting their games in Game Pass if they allow the service. This is again, you know, the whole Rome thing, right? If you're going to let a service like Game Pass onto your platform, why wouldn't you put the games in Game Pass? That's what people want anyway, right? And I'm not saying that's what Jeff Grunt wants. I'm speaking in general, right? That is what people want. People want Game Pass on PlayStation and everywhere, and have all these games be day and date, because they think that's what works best. They're thinking about, a lot of people are thinking about this from the mindset of Microsoft and not PlayStation or Nintendo or whoever. All that shit benefits Microsoft. That shit does not benefit PlayStation, right? If PlayStation is trying to create or revamp their PS Now service to create better catalog content between PS1 to PS4 or PS5 to some degree, not day and date, but obviously putting those games in there at a later time through the movie theater trickle down effect, right? Trying to revamp PS Plus and trying to do all this Spartacus shit, right? And they're also still putting out their exclusives and, you know, the type of quality and type of games that they're creating. These are not games that belong in service or can go into a service. Shout out to Sean Layden. He was on What's Up PlayStation back in October of last year, and we had a conversation about this. The vision of PS Now was meant to be catalog content for old games and preservation. That was meant to be the preservation that a lot of people are so highly sought after, right? That is what PS Now is supposed to function as. The xCloud portion of it, where you can stream and play anywhere, is something that PlayStation had first when it comes to Gaikai. Now, in terms of fleshing that out, that is something that they can still do and have it on other platforms and all this other stuff, and kind of have that streaming, which they really do have already anyway, right? And then when it comes to PS Plus, obviously PS Plus is PS Plus, where you get new games in the service in that type of subscription. Brand new indies or brand new titles or whatever the case may be. You get some of the older games highly sought after, whatever the case may be. Boom. Then you've got the high quality games that are being made, like Horizon, GT, God of War, etc. High quality games costing $200+ million to make. Again, shout out to Sean Layden. A lot of the budgets of these titles are starting to go higher and higher and higher. If you want a company like if you want a company like PlayStation to continue to compete and continue to be something within this industry, you have to support those titles. People are looking at this from a Microsoft perspective when it comes to Game Pass and their vision, and that is not PlayStation's vision. That is not PlayStation's goals. That is not even something that PlayStation can sustain if we're talking the kind and caliber of games that people want from PlayStation. If people want the kind and caliber of games from PlayStation, which is what they've grown to expect, you cannot look at something like that and think this service or day and date or Game Pass and shit like that is going to help. Now again, Call of Duty leaving PlayStation will hurt. Call of Duty not being on PlayStation will hurt at the bottom line. It will hurt the console sales, and as we can see, it even hurt the stock, right? They need to find out where to, if they do, and even see. And here's the thing too, because you need to always prepare. I believe in always being prepared for the worst. Even if Microsoft says, "Oh nah, we're going to continue to put these games on PlayStation." Even in the future, 2 years, 3 years down the line. So it's 2025. Oh yeah, we're still making COD for PlayStation, but Microsoft is also within their right to one day say, hey, you know what? Deal went sour. We're no longer going to be making Call of Duty for PlayStation. I would rather PlayStation have a contingency plan in place to expect something like that to happen from Microsoft than to continue to rely on funds like that to continue to come through and then Microsoft just one day wakes up and says, "Hey, and you know what? Nah, we about to take this off, man. Like, we want all that. We want those people to come over here. So this is gonna be the last COD we make." then what? Then they have to scramble to figure out how they can make up that revenue. No, I would rather PlayStation say, you know what, we'll still continue to take the games if you're willing to give them to us, but we're also on the side going to figure out how we can build up to be prepared to if this is no longer here, we are not hurting or crippled to where we cannot we lose out on a tremendous amount of funds or whatever the case may be because of no Call of Duty. I'd rather that contingency plan be in place. Yo, shout out to CB3, man. Appreciate you for the super chat. He says, Sony needs to look down at least one or two publishers like Sega, Capcom, or Square. It's not Microsoft. Sony should be worried about its Tencent. Absolutely. Again, Square, Sega, or Capcom are the three publishers that make sense. I don't think they would buy all three, and realistically, I wouldn't want them to. I feel like Square and Capcom would be the best pulls, right? Or Square and Sega. As long as Square is there, we're fine. But I do not want PlayStation to play the acquisition game. They will lose. Pull a publisher in, yes, absolutely. But if we're going to try to go tit for tat, and if Microsoft turns around and buys Ubisoft, you got people saying, buy EA, PlayStation, no, we can't play that type of game here, man. We just can't. We can't, man, because PlayStation's pockets aren't built like that, and businesses aren't supposed to move like that on a reactionary basis like that. Pay attention, right? Move accordingly. Make strategic planning. Position yourself in the industry to where you can be a cornerstone regardless of what's going around you. Also adapt and build those different revenue streams and things like that. Absolutely. But you need to also understand PlayStation cannot play that acquisition game like Microsoft. So if we're talking Tencent, Amazon, Google, Apple, whoever, PlayStation can't play in that realm when it comes to the acquisition. They just can't, man. They just can't. PlayStation Nation, I need y'all to understand that PlayStation can't play that type of game, but PlayStation can position themselves. PlayStation can buy the smaller studios, build organically, like Jim Ryan said, build those organic studios, build up studios and take smaller studios and make them great. Housemarque, that was the other studio I was thinking about. They bought Housemarque, Bluepoint, Fire Sprite, and Insomniac. I was thinking of Housemarque. Now Housemarque has transitioned and are now considered a AAA developer. They're going to get more staff, a bigger studio, bigger things. They leveled up. That is what PlayStation does. They build small studios up into great AAA studios. That is the organic growth that Jim Ryan has been talking about, and that is the organic growth that I do want PlayStation to continue to do. But I do think if we're at a fire sale, PlayStation can, real quick grab one out the pile and continue to do what they do. But they cannot play that acquisition game like how Microsoft, Tencent, and Amazon can. They can't. But they can make the best games, which they have proven time and time again. They do have the best developers, which they have proven time and time again. And they do have a lot of people within the industry who look to them as the pinnacle when it comes to quality and are happy to work with them, right, in a partnership and things like that to build exclusive games on their platform. PlayStation needs to keep themselves as a cornerstone. Let me get the super chat from your Famoa. Appreciate you for the super chat. He says they say a big blow to PlayStation to PS, but not a killing blow. No, not a killing blow whatsoever, but it's a big blow. Pause. But I disagree with Jeff Grubb here. Because I really think he's looking at this from the perspective of Microsoft and not Sony. I don't think this benefits Sony as greatly as what he's explaining here, right? Yes, that 30% that they might get might be great, but again, it's not. I don't think it would be at the level of what they're already getting now, especially if people have to sign into if people have to sign into Xbox Live and all that other shit. Nah, man, nah. Nah. PlayStation don't need to do that. They don't need to do that at all. Hey, Claude, what up? I've always cared about Japan Studio, and I was very pissed off when they did disband that. What are you talking about? Why do people make these blanket statements Like everyone thinks like that. What the fuck are you talking about? Shout out to you, Claude. I appreciate you for being in the chat and coming through and rocking out with us. But what the fuck are you? What are you talking about? Who is everyone? And no one cared about Japan Studios. There was a lot of people. And listen, PlayStation fans definitely got to lick their wounds there because Japan Studios definitely closed. A lot of people weren't supporting their games. But what? Like, you think everyone here in the chat wasn't supporting Japan Studio games? I have Gravity Wars 1 and 2, Ape Escape and all that other shit. What are you talking about? Like, what? Shout out to you. Yo, Strick in the building. Appreciate you, bro. Strick, man, appreciate you for the $5 super chat. He says Sony plus Disney plus Marvel. So I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Sony, they've got really strong partnerships, right? Not to say that these partnerships may change in the future, but right now those sales are coming through. Those sales are coming through, man. Those sales are making sense. Spider-Man at 20 plus million, God of War 20 plus million. Yo, Trubsalutely. Appreciate you for the sub, man. Thanks for coming through. Round of applause. Hey, yo, Ray, a Ray of Queen. Hey, yo, Ray, what's up? Hey, yo, there go Ray, man. Yo, that's my boy Ray, man. Yo, Ray, man, appreciate you coming through, bro. Say something nice about Xbox. Okay, I'll say something nice about Xbox. I appreciate how the Series X keeps my house nice and warm and toasty during the winter, especially when it's about -2 degrees or when it's like 15 degrees outside. My crib be nice and toasty and warm. Ooh wee. I am so grateful for the Xbox. Hey, shout out to my boy Ray of Queens, man. Yo, Ray, I appreciate it. I'm about to mod you up real quick, bro. Mod you up real quick, Ray. Shout out to Ray, man. Shout out to Ray. I want to open up the chat for a little bit. I want to talk to y'all. I want to see what y'all talking about, man. What y'all talking about with this? Oh, oops. I did that by accident. I didn't mean to. It changed. Yo, my fault, Luca. She probably gonna come in and be like, hello? Why did you invite me here? I'm like, yo, that's my fault. Join the If you want to come through and give your thoughts, you can. I'm gonna pin this as well. Let me pin this message. Yo, what up? What up, Carba? I'm good, man. How you feeling, bro? What? I know, man. What a move, man. For sure. Listen, the deal's gonna go through. Like, all that bullshit. Yo, Cooper, what's good, man? All that bullshit. Yeah, it might, but I do not think that this deal is gonna be stopped or vetoed, or I think no, not vetoed, filibustered, or whatever the case, whatever they call it. It's not going away, not at all, not in the slightest. Like, this deal is gonna happen, and yeah. Oh shit, my fault. They can't hear you. My fault. I forgot to turn on the say something.
Hi.
Oh, okay, yeah, my fault.
Okay.
I forgot to unmute the I forgot to unmute
Okay.
I forgot to unmute the thing. Go ahead. Say what you was gonna say.
So yeah, my question was with the FTC looking into that, maybe there's a way to prevent this from happening. I'm not trying to give you guys hope or anything, but just from the information that I've read. Person corrected me.
Yeah, I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it can't. It most definitely can happen, right? That is definitely a strong possibility. But I feel like what Phil Spencer said, or I think it was Phil Spencer, or even there's an analyst I was watching too on Finance Channel about this, and it's a possibility. But the way Phil Spencer and them talking, nah, it's gonna happen. He's confident that this will get pushed through, and I think it will.
Apparently, what's her name? Activision wanted to be bought.
I'm sure they did.
They're
Yeah, finish
they're
the
the
thought.
one that what called started the competition. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, possibly, absolutely, but I mean, you know, they weren't damn sure we're not gonna get bought by PlayStation for no 70 billion. So who else they gonna go to? Plus, you know, they had a good relationship with Microsoft anyway, because before PlayStation 4, those COD map packs and all that was exclusive to Xbox, and Xbox was like the shooter box and all that back there in 360. So they had that type of relationship anyway. So I mean, you're not going to PlayStation talking about, hey man, I need to borrow 70 billion. Nah, PlayStation gonna laugh you out the boardroom. Like, nah, man, you ain't coming to me.
What up, Brody?
You ain't coming to me with that. Yo, Strick, what's good, bro?
Facts.
substrictly.
What up, man? What's going on, Omar, man? Great evening, everyone.
Yo, Blue Mustang, what up, man? You quiet. You coming in here like Link. Link be like coming in here, don't say nothing. Go ahead though,
Man.
Strick. What you got to say?
Blue Mustang? You was
No,
talking
no,
to
no.
Blue
You,
Mustang, right?
no, you. What you got to say?
Oh, my bad. I mean, like I said, man, I definitely think that there's gonna be a partnership with Disney. That's what I personally think. Just off of just articles I read and seeing kind of like what the whole deal was, and obviously, you know, Spider-Man plays a big part in this. So I just feel like that they're going to partner with Disney and create their own MCU. That's what I think is going to happen.
But Strick, do you think? Be honest, bro, because you play shooters like I do, so you know how important these shooters are.
fact.
Do you think that's enough to offset this type of acquisition?
Yes, because of the comic book market. Like, just as a person who loves shooters, obviously there's a big market for shooters. I'm definitely not saying that there's not. I mean, if you think about it, that's probably why, you know, PlayStation, they copped those three developers from Treyarch and kind of creating their own thing, their own AAA multiplayer shooter. I'm not saying that they're, you know, obviously it can't really, on a scale of profit, it's not going to, you know, touch Call of Duty. It's just not. But, you know, that's probably why they did that. But I can definitely see Sony, Marvel, and Disney kind of making a thing, because think about it. We got Spider-Man. Spider-Man PS4 alone got 20 mil, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got Miles Morales. They already made profit off of the acquisition off of Insomniac.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's not a coincidence that they get Wolverine, and they're creating shows based off of all of these titles. So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like I could see a Sony and Disney partnership definitely happen to create their own MCU. That can definitely combat that acquisition.
So do you think that type of thing would be able to offset the loss of COD? Not necessarily, because COD, I'm pretty sure COD is generating like 400 or 500 million for PlayStation. I don't know the exact number, but I'm willing to bet it's a very high number, right? Like it's high.
Right, yeah, true. But how much? I'm wondering. We was doing the math the other day, and I can't exactly remember me and somebody else. I'm wondering how much Spider-Man and Miles Morales made them. I'm wondering. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's even close to that, then that's a dub, because that's just Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
and I feel like Wolverine's going
to
to. If Wolverine is made well, I definitely think Wolverine's definitely going to sell. The KOTOR, right? They definitely got some heavy hitters, and I do think there's a lot more. Like if a new Metal Gear is coming or a remake, that's gonna fly. That's gonna fly off shelves, right?
Yeah.
If SOCOM comes back, I think a lot of the hardcore would play SOCOM, but I don't think SOCOM is really. A lot of these new age people are not gonna play SOCOM, man. I just don't see it. I just don't see it happening with a lot of the new age people. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think we'll have a lot of people playing it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not really comparing these things to Call of Duty in regards to shooters and stuff. I'm just saying, you know, Call of Duty just from a, you know, it's kind of like mindshare, right? You know, like, damn, if I want to play Call of Duty, I gotta play, you know, Xbox if it becomes exclusive or whatnot. But I'm just saying, the market for comic fans, it's insanely big. Like, that's bigger than Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you just think about it, and I just don't think it's a coincidence. Like, on top of that Neil Druckmann says his number one IP that he would like to create is Punisher, and they have pretty much shows or movies coming from all of the titles. Ghost of Tsushima's getting a movie. You know what I'm saying? Tom Holland, he plays Spider-Man, in a movie, and he's playing Uncharted. So I just think that there's a lot going on with that, and I definitely think it can lead to a partnership with Sony, Disney, and Marvel. You know what I'm saying? In regards to all three of those and what they'll make.
If that partnership happens,
that's
where
insane,
like,
bro.
well, they've got a partnership kind of already, kind of like brewing or whatever. But like, if it's like some real like, like some everything's being made from everything Marvel being made from PlayStation Studios and shit. That's big.
That's big, bro.
That's big.
Like that's crazy, dog. Cause then if you think about it this way, this is something I'll let Omar Blue Mustang talk. But this is a thing too. It's rumored that Spartacus is probably going to have a tier system. What if they include Disney Plus in that tier system?
I feel like that stuff is supplementary, man. I don't know, like the games obviously yes, but I feel like do you think they still need to at least pluck one publisher off the market, man? Like I don't know. I just feel like feel like they should.
I think what they should do is a partnership with Disney for the Marvel we just talked about, and then cop Square Enix so they can keep that Eastern market to themselves. That's how I personally see it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I think that's a good move. You know what I'm saying? Partnership with Disney, you cop Square Enix, all of that stuff becomes exclusive. And I think it was rumored that Square Enix was working on another comic or Marvel title, correct?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, yeah, I could see all of that kind of tying itself together. You know what I'm saying? I could see that correlate.
Omar, I'm gonna hold on, Omar. I'm gonna let you go. Let me just get the super chat real quick. Yo, CB3, man, appreciate you. He says, what would be the biggest FU to Microsoft? What would be the biggest FU to Microsoft is if Sony would be able to buy Bungie. Destiny is one of the only shooters that can step to COD. Yeah, it could. Absolutely. I just don't see, I don't know, for some reason, I just don't see PlayStation doing that. But go ahead, Omar.
How are they gonna cop Square Enix when what's called Crystal Dynamics is working with Microsoft directly? Like, as much as PlayStation and Square have a relationship, Square and Microsoft have also a different type of relationship.
It's true.
That's true.
Or PlayStation cut their losses, chop off Crystal Dynamics real quick and just straight up like, hey,
you could just call it a day. You know what I'm saying? Wipe your hands and keep it up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, facts.
Yeah, so I could see that stuff happening. Like I said, I definitely can see just like I said, man, them coming out with their little Spartacus, tier system, putting Disney Plus in there, and I can kind of see it now. They'd be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? You could play the new Hulk game and then watch it on Disney Plus, which is a subscription with Spartacus. You know
I don't know,
what I'm saying?
straight. I hear you, bro. And I always respect your opinions and thoughts, bro. I don't know, bro. I'm looking at like 6 years from now, 5 to 10, and I'm just like, yo, like deals like that are great. And those will definitely be like, but I'm looking at like how do you see PlayStation kind of cornerstoning themselves in this industry 5 to 10 years down the line? When you see acquisitions like this happening, how do they corner themselves? How do they position themselves, man? Like from your perspective, from Omar's perspective as well. Like, Strick, we'll start you off. Like, how do you see them kind of positioning themselves?
Let Blue Mustang talk because he has not said a word, and then we will move on from there.
Well, I don't know if he's there or not. Are you there?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead, start us off, Blue Mustang.
One thing that I'm kind of curious about is, because obviously if they're acquiring all of these developers and everything and consuming them, because 70 billion, like, I mean, how are they gonna recoup that money if they do to push the whole Game Pass thing? Like, I'm just saying, like, eventually Game Pass is gonna start going up, and I don't think it's gonna stay at $15 a month. And how soon is it gonna start? Like, they're gonna be like, all right, we starting to cap out because now they gotta dump money to for the next Call of Duty. And all these other games, there's gonna be next Bethesda games, Halo, Gears, Forza, all these games. Like, $15 a month from 25 million people, it ain't enough to cut it to spread it out for everyone. So they're gonna increase it. So,
But yes, the question is like, how do you feel? How do you think PlayStation is going to position themselves
how they gonna do it?
in the next 5 to 10 years? Like the long, because it's.
So-
I feel like this is the long game now. Like this gen is setting up for the long game, right? So this gen is the setup gen for next gen, the gen after that, and so on and so forth. How are they setting themselves up next 5 to 10 years, man?
that is a good question. That's because
Man, Marvel and Disney, goddammit.
Yeah, see, because like I don't know, because like I don't necessarily think that they need to do what they do, like mimic off of them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if this is a way that that Microsoft is trying to strong arm them to do. It's like, all right, well, if if we're the only ones that's doing it, like let's just strong arm and just buy up everything and throw it in a subscription service. Where now it's like, all right, we're gonna force Sony's hands to do the same thing. But since Microsoft has already jumped the gun on it, they're gonna be like, oh well, we've already been doing it first. So I don't know if they're gonna try, if they're trying to strong arm them to do it. I don't know if I'm trying to figure out how can Sony do it. I don't know, to be able to compete with them. I don't know.
Let me let Strick tackle this. Hold up, no, hold on. Let me let Strick tackle this. I know he about to drop some fire. Go ahead, Strick. He about to drop some controversial shit, man. Watch, go ahead.
I'm just saying, man. I think people are sleeping on that, because like you said, Disney and Sony kind of already have a somewhat relationship or a partnership, but they're probably going to make that official. I think people are sleeping on how big comics is. Like a lot of gamers, when you ask, a lot of us are into most of the same shit: anime, comics, tech, etc. You know what I'm saying? Like comics is big. It's been around forever, and it's going to stay here. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me the biggest platform for comics will be specific or will be exclusive to Sony PlayStation? Like that is huge. That's bigger than Call of Duty.
Since you talked about drop the anime word, let me piggyback on that. Why doesn't PlayStation start create their own anime games? Like they should go to Crunchyroll and all the mangakas and say, hey, we want to create this game, we want to create that game. Like pick up a game like what's called a Demon Slayer, make one. A game like One Piece. Put your best writer, put your best creative, give it to a company like Sucker Punch, because they are from the infamous franchise, and let them make the best damn One Piece game.
I'm not gonna lie, like I get what you're saying, but like comics is forefront, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like this comics we talking about, and that's why I asked the question yesterday on Twitter. Like everybody says, Sony should react or respond, but who's to say Microsoft is not responding to that? Like they just went to Activision in November. You get what I'm saying? So like,
apparently they were talking about this for 2 years.
Yeah, they were talking about it for 2 years. So it kind of just makes sense in a way. You know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is, Call of Duty's big, bro, and there's more than Call of Duty. Activision, you know what I'm saying, in general, being caught by Microsoft is big, but I just don't think it's on the scale of what Sony can do or what Sony and Disney can do with Marvel. Like that is big, dog. I'm just saying, if you have all Marvel comic games exclusive to your platform, and they have to come to your platform. I mean, Persona, yo, that is crazy, bro.
Yeah, no, that's big. Go ahead, Omar.
Yeah.
I would go the anime route instead of the comic route. Simply for the fact there's a lot of comic games coming out, like the Suicide Squad, the Batman game. Like, don't focus and especially with PlayStation doing their own thing with Marvel Spider-Man and what's called Wolverine.
Yeah.
So focus instead now on the anime. Push the anime front. Look, we have a lot of animes that are doing well. Heck, make an Attack on Titan game. Like,
Omar, like I hear you, but that's not touching Marvel, bro. Like
Yeah,
it's
Marvel.
Marvel is
Marvel
a
brings
whole
money.
different level. Like think about it. The writing is on the wall, bro. They already have somewhat of a partnership with Disney. They made a bunch off of Spider-Man. They made Miles Morales. They tease Hulk, and they already making a Wolverine game.
you do
Like
know that
Yeah.
that One Piece dethroned Batman for the most sales.
forget
And-
Batman. I'm talking about Marvel. Like,
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say
sorry.
Marvel comics and stuff like that. They generate billions. The anime industry is generating billions as well, but not the Marvel billions.
and that's what I'm saying. So like when you think about that acquisition and you think about what Sony's partnership can do, like just look at what they did with Miles Morales, Spider-Man PS4 with one studio. One. You feel me? So seeing what they can do with these comic characters, bro, in their own universe, and think about it. There was this this article, and the first sentence of it was Marvel wasn't interested in having Insomniac work around like a movie or comic tie-in either. In other words, they want their own storyline. You feel me? So the writing's on the wall for them to have a partnership with Disney to make these games, bro. Like that will be crazy.
Yeah.
Let me ask the question. Can I ask a different question now? Or do you want to say?
Yeah.
My question would be, how much loss can PlayStation afford? They just lost one of their biggest money generator, which is apparently last year or this year alone, COD generated them 100 mil, I think. So my question is, if Microsoft goes on another buying spree and they scoop up, let's call it EA or even Take-Two. Let's just call it Take-Two, and that's another company PlayStation been doing business with. How much more companies can PlayStation afford before conceding and they just fuck it? We're gonna put the Game Pass on PlayStation because that's the only way they're gonna get Microsoft exclusive game. Because you said it, they're playing the long game, which is I truly now believe we might see another acquisition as big as this, and then PlayStation gonna be like, yeah, we're fucked.
I mean, I think if Microsoft does do another acquisition, I think it would be Ubisoft. Just because with EA and 2K, those licensing fees with the sports titles, the sports industry doesn't want that stuff exclusive. That's why you see MLB on Xbox now. Because MLB,
What about
the MLB and
what's called
Madden and FIFA? Well, Madden and FIFA sell best on PlayStation, and they get a bulk of their money from PlayStation. And in the Europe market, FIFA is sold best on PlayStation. I don't see the soccer industry allowing that to be exclusive.
Dude, Call of Duty sold best on PlayStation as well.
Call of Duty is
now.
not affiliated with any type of official, baseball
mean,
league
okay,
baseball league or NFL, NFL league and NBA league and all. Nah, it's not the same thing. Call of Duty is big, yes, but there is no official. There's no Call of Duty sport in real life that's associated with that. So it's not the same thing.
I understand what you mean. But what about what's called Take-Two?
Take-Two is 2K. Like, no.
Oh,
I'm trying to say,
2K.
yeah, no.
Oh.
Yeah.
They wouldn't allow that to be exclusive. Now, what they might say is, oh, we're going to buy you, but we'll keep making this on that, which that could possibly happen. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, man. The market is in such a volatile state right now. The industry is in such a volatile state. I honestly don't know. But if they were to buy like Take-Two or EA, I think we're talking like 100 billion, bro.
Or even Square.
It's gonna be up there.
Yeah, that would
or
be
even
crazy.
Square. Like if they bought Square, PlayStation be fucked as well. With like again, PlayStation needs to start not only planning ahead, but also start realizing the game have changed. It's no longer about again. That's what
I mean, but PlayStation can't stop. I mean, if Microsoft was to go in and buy Take-Two, PlayStation can't stop that. Like I don't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying to Sick earlier.
Go to Square Enix and say.
Yeah, but how does them buying Square Enix stop stop
Yeah,
Xbox from
Square
buying
Enix is
Take
not going
Two.
to stop him.
Like if they were to buy Take Two, they buy Take Two. Like that would just be another blow to the industry,
Yes.
and like PlayStation can't stop this shit from happening. This is why I said they need to position themselves. They need to look at their future and position themselves accordingly. They've cultivated and built up some of the best studios. I want PlayStation. The way Insomniac works is how all their studios need to be built up and working so that they can be pumping out content on a high level, right? You know, the fact that we've waited 2+ years now for just Factions 2 from Naughty Dog. I mean, fuck. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, and within that time frame, Insomniac has put out 3 games and have 2 more on the way. So you get what I'm saying? PlayStation, every PlayStation studio needs to be staffed up and built to work like how Insomniac works. That's one. Because if the content is high quality and continuous, they're good. They need to look. They've cultivated some smaller studios and built them up. Obviously, i.e., Bluepoint and Housemarque. Right now, that's now going to be a AAA studio, much more staffed up, et cetera, et cetera. You know, grabbing up some of those other studios that make sense, Ember Labs or whatever. Like I said, pluck a publisher from it. Capcom, EA, Sega, take your pick. I personally would say Sega. But if we're talking about this whole acquisition war, PlayStation can't play in that market, Omar. They just can't play in that shit, man.
They don't stand a chance against Microsoft on that market. Like you got to play. This is again, this comes down to that whole chess theme. Like this is a game of chess. They can't just power their way into acquiring some shit. Like they cannot compete with Microsoft. They got way too much money for that. That's why I'm saying a partnership with Disney makes sense.
Yep.
This makes sense.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't really know how to say it. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense because at that point you're forcing people to come to your platform for all comic games. And again, comics is a huge market, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like I can see them doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way. Unless there's something else, but I mean,
I think it's the most logical way that makes sense and can make them the amount of money that we're talking about in regards to this acquisition and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I think it's really the only play. Maybe I'm just not thinking about more things, but that's the first one that definitely comes to mind, given that they're making Spider-Man, Wolverine, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, don't let this dampen y'all spirits, man. We got games on the way. Xbox niggas, Xbox game is still waiting. Fuck out of here. Xbox game is still waiting on games. Fuck out of here, man. I got games on the way.
Spirits. Fam, I couldn't have been happier. I don't give a shit about that. Bro.
That's what I'm saying.
We got Uncharted coming up, you know what I'm saying, again, the PS5 version of Director's Cut, or not Director's Cut, but PS5 version. We got Horizon Forbidden West. We all seen that beautiful new trailer today. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing.
We got Seafood coming up, and we got GT and GT7
I love
in
seafood, man.
March.
My favorite seafood, shrimp. Go ahead, my fault.
Yeah, I'm stupid. Like, hey, bro, we in there. I'm not even.
Yeah.
You already know it, man.
Yeah, we got a lot of games on the way. Like, so shit is good for PlayStation in terms of their games, man.
Forbidden West seems to be going from Uncharted 1 to Uncharted 2.
Oh yeah, they're pretty much fixing a lot of what was wrong with the first game and just building on top of it.
And they're adding characters that are important now and have something to say, and people are gonna care about.
Yep.
Like, I can't wait for this game. Like, this game giving me Uncharted 2 feel.
Oh yeah, I'm hyped. I'm very hyped.
Facts.
I told you got a thing come on next month.
Hey yo, Famo, appreciate you for the super chat. Said my wallet gonna be hurting in February, man. Yo, that's a fact, Famo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wallet gonna be.
Stop lying, bro.
What you mean, man?
No, you tried to slide that in there.
Yo, my wallet gonna be hurting too. What you talking about? Yo, listen, I'm trying to get the season bread, man. Get up out of here, man. You trying to talk about me, man? Got the season bread, man. Talking about.
I wasn't letting you slide that in there.
Yo, y'all got any last thoughts before we get up out of here, man? Strick, Omar, Blue Mustang. Any final thoughts?
Horizon Forbidden West, I'm so sold on it. Can't wait. Other than that, that's good. I'm just curious. From the move that PlayStation be making, it almost feels like PlayStation knew about this move and they were preparing for it. The way they have been working with Deviation, UFI Sprite, also making a multiplayer game.
We'll see.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gonna
we
be
need to see.
very interesting.
Listen, I get that it's COD veterans and all that. I still need to see the game, man. Like I'm not going to put no stock in a new studio just because of who's heading it up. You know, like a lot of people don't get that type of trust in me. Just because like
Even
yo, like
COD?
no.
My
Because
question is the final question is-
because there's been a lot of bad Call of Duties as well. So no, not at all. I need to see how the game plays. How's the gun mechanics? You know, are they making this shit casual as fuck? Is it just a money grab? You get what I'm saying? Like I need to see like how the maps is. Nah, man. I'm excited to see what the future might be with the game and see what it is. But I ain't gonna be hyped for it. I understand it's COD veterans from back in the day, but nah.
My final question is this: do you think, and this is a question Akira asked in space? I don't know if you do you think do you see COD survive without PlayStation? Because
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Call of Duty's gonna survive regardless. It's Call of Duty.
It's COD, bro. Like y'all, listen. I know a lot of, and this is not nothing against you, Omar, but a lot of people in these. I'm speaking in general here, so that's why I'm saying that, Omar. A lot of people on Twitter and in these spaces, they don't play COD, and if they do play COD, they suck. Listen, man, like yo, COD is major in this game and shit, bro. It's major. They have $1 million tournaments every year. This shit's major. People have built careers off the back of Call of Duty. This shit's major, bruh. Like, yes, people are going to go where Call of Duty is because there are people who solely only play COD every single year. That is all they play day in and day out is COD. Trust me, that shit is going to survive. Huh?
are you gonna go there?
Hey man, listen, I got a PC. What you mean? I got everything. What you talking about? I got a 3080 Ti, boy. But I just
and I think it doesn't like at the end of the day, man. Persona not a casual, so that's why it's important for people to understand when we talk about Call of Duty and it being big for Microsoft in that regard. It's because of the casuals. That's it. Because of the casuals. We're not talking about the hardcore Call of Duty fan base, because if that was the case, then COD would have been great the last 3 to 4 years, and it hasn't because they're catering to the casuals. You know what I'm saying? So this is what it's about. It's about the casual gamer picking up the game and playing, for 1 or 2 hours a day and going about their business. That's what COD is for now.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
It's gonna have a lot of people. A lot of people will follow where COD goes. If COD is exclusive in the next couple of years, people will go where COD is. Absolutely. Most definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
regardless, we can get it though if we want it.
That's what I was gonna say.
Marketing rights. People shifted with the marketing rights. A lot of people were playing on Xbox when Xbox had the marketing rights, and then it shifted to PlayStation, and a lot of people start switching to PlayStation just because of the marketing rights.
Yo, so Michael Brown, appreciate you for the sub, man. Yo, Jafar Jr., thank you for subbing to the channel, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's what it is, man. I mean, we'll at the end of the day, and this is not a deflect. I got games to play. Yo, listen.
Yeah.
I got games on the way. As a gamer, like this is all business talking, all that bullshit. As a gamer in present time, I'm happy, bro, because I'm geek. I got games on the way, man. I'm very happy.
This is the best time to be a gamer, bro. Like,
absolutely.
The best. There's so much shit coming out. You know what I'm saying? And like, and honestly, just my last really input. I kind of agree with Persona on the Deviation Studios part of it. I think the only reason I'm a bit more optimistic is just simply because Sony is publishing it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, their name it's kind of like the Days Gone thing. Like it looked generic, but because Sony PlayStation was the publisher, you're probably going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like it's something like that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, outside of that, bro, I'm happy to be a gamer. So like there's no reason anyone should complain. If you don't got a PlayStation 5, you're gaming wrong. That's as simple as that.
So, fact.
Straight up.
Hey man, but yo man, let's get into these outros, man. Yo, Strick, starting with you. Shout out to you, bro. Appreciate you coming through. C-Sim, that's C-Sim, bro. I'm trying to get like you, big bro. Let me hold $5, man. My birthday coming up, man. Throw me $5, man.
When your birthday, bro? When your birthday?
The 28th. I'll be 30.
28?
Yeah.
Say no more. You know I got you, brother.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
that's
Yeah,
cheese
you know,
and
you know I got
bread.
you. You know, just stop it, bro. Nah, but man, you already know, man. Strictly, catch me on Twitter, STLCTY03. I'm not asking nobody to follow me. That's not what I do. If you want to, cool. If you don't, cool. I like to talk gaming, not just console war, actual gaming. So with that being said, shit, man, shout out to my boy Persona, always showing love in these gaming streets, putting out knowledge in these gaming streets. I appreciate you, G.
Hey man, listen, he not gonna shout you out, but I will. Fuck that. Shout out to my boy Strick, right? Strictly Gaming, STRICTLYGAMING. Go sub to his YouTube channel. Go support my boy. Hold on, let me pull up that YouTube channel, man. I'm gonna shout him out. You understand? It don't matter, man. I'ma shout him out, man. Shout out to my boy Strick, man. Shout him out. Support him. Go support him, man. And subscribe to his YouTube channel. Follow him on Twitter at Strictly03. Strict03. Hey, yo, Strick, what happened with that, bro?
No, Strictly.
No, it says Strict T.
Man, something wrong. See,
Hey,
you
man.
know, let me be great.
Strict T on Twitter, bro. You gotta fix that. Shout out to Strick, man. Appreciate you, bro. Yo, Omar, man. Give us your outro, bro.
Yes, great show. People can find me at _Shihab on Twitter and Gameplayer every Saturday 6 p.m. This week is gonna be insane because I have none other than the dude that predicted all Tick Humor TV.
That's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire.
Yeah. Gonna be definitely a fire show.
It's gonna be a good show. Yo, Blue Mustang, man. Give us your outro.
I'm on Twitter, dogpatch16. That's it, really. Hopefully, since Microsoft have COD, hopefully COD gets better. They put some money into it.
They not.
Hey, hold on. You a gamer, right, Blue Mustang?
Yeah.
You gotta sound more excited than that, G. I'm sorry. I need
Hey,
some more enthusiasm. I need some energy. I ain't like that.
Yeah. I just got off for work, man. Just
stressed.
No.
Man,
That man stressed.
Yo, I'm over here babysitting 300 grown adults, man.
300 grown adults. What?
Huh?
Babysitting grown adults.
Oh
Man.
no.
Yeah, well. Nah, I understand, man. I'm
I
sorry.
get it. I get it. Man.
Hey.
I get it, man.
Hey, that's what the military is. You babysitting grown adults, man.
I get it. Trust.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they got 2 military guys up here. Shout out to the military, man. Shout out to y'all boys, man. My brother in the military, a Marine. Shout out to
No doubt,
Marines,
bro.
man.
Respect.
Yo, man, listen. Appreciate everybody coming through. Yo, we had 200 of y'all pulled up and came through. Thank y'all so much for pulling up tonight. And yo, this was a fun show, man. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Shout out to Omar. Shout out to Blue Mustang. Shout out to Strick. I appreciate them boys coming through. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all so much for coming through, rocking out, and you know, talking some gaming stuff, some gaming business, gaming news, man. One of the greatest things about my community of supporters and people over here on my side of YouTube is you are free to disagree in the chat respectfully, and we can always have that back and forth in that conversation. Right.
And hit the like button, man.
Absolutely.
Put some respect on my guy Persona's channel, bro. Hit that like button.
Absolutely. Shout out to my boy Bari, man. I'm gonna take one of his quotes. Bari originated this quote. I'm gonna say it because it's fire, but Bari, this is Bari's quote. Live to inspire. And with that being said, I'm getting up out of here, man. Y'all be safe, man. Have a great night, and I'll see y'all Saturday on What's Up PlayStation Podcast. All right, boys.
Yes, sir.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.